So today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build the Thirdman Records Triplegraph digital pitch shifter in the Helix LT to get those iconic sounds of guitar icon Jack White. So first things first, we're going to quickly look at the signal path, and then I'm going to timestamp all the individual functions throughout this video, and then lastly I'll go into the specific settings for those of you who just want a little bit more info on how to tweak it to get these sounds. So let's jump in and check out the signal path. Okay, so the first block in our signal path here, we want to set up a dual pitch shift block there, which is an octave up and an octave down, or vice versa. Doesn't matter how you set them up, but just want an octave above and an octave below. We've got in this position here just a Ds1 vintage distortion pedal there, and then the main one we're going to be using here, which gives us that sound, is the Bighorn Fuzz. Okay, running into, I've got the Soldano clean lead emulator there in an amp and a cab, so solo lead clean, but you could use something like a Princeton or something really clean like a Fender or even a Mesa, whatever you're comfortable using and what best suits your guitar. All right, then we want to move across into a volume pedal here, and we're going to set that up to be our kill switch down the track. Next one across, we've got ourselves a simple pitch, okay, which is just down an octave. And then this one here, we've got the simple pitch, which is pushed up an octave. So that's going to give us some of those glitchy sounds. And then I've just gone really simply, just a dynamic hall reverb, and one of my favorites, which is the Bucket Brigade, sitting out the back of the signal path. Okay, so the first function we need to get in and start setting up is our octave up and our octave down. So we've got a nice heavy fuzz sound there, so we want it to. All right, let's set this one up. So let's jump on in with our dual pitch shift here. We want to make sure interval 1 is set 1 octave below and interval 2 is set 1 octave up. So we then, once we've done that, we need to come in and hit Control Assign after we've hit the global or the menu button here, push that in there. Then with that block still selected, we want to come down where it says parameter and turn that all the way until we hit mix, okay? Then we want to come across to controller and we want to set that up to foot switch number 8, which will set our control to there. The next one we want to have is we've got the type of switch that we want to set up, and we want to make sure this is a latching, set to latching. If we set it to momentary, it's only going to be on while the switch is placed down. Next thing we want to do is have a minimum value at 0 and the maximum value at 75 of the mix. So once we've set that up, we've got it on, we've got our octave above and below, and we turn it off, and then it just goes back to our standard fuzz sound there. Okay, for our second switch we want to set up cool, let's jump in, set that one up. All right, so we're going to come down and we've got our simple pitch shift here. Okay, we'll come back to our home screen, and we just want to make sure the octave is set to -12 there, which is going to give us 12 steps below. And then what we want to do, come up, push our menu button again, hit Control Assign, and then where it says parameter, we want to move that across again till we hit mix. We want to set that up to foot switch number 9, which is right next to the previous one here. And the difference here with the type of switch, we want to set that to momentary. Now, when we come across to the next parameter, we want to set that to 0, and the max value of that is 53. So that's going to set the pitch shifted signal to go in at about 50% there. So if we come back out, with our octave still set up in foot switch number 8, we've got So whilst we've got two functions set up on the Helix, the next one we want to add is the up the octave momentary switch. So with our below the octave and up the octave still running on foot switch number 8 here, we want to create cool, let's jump in, set this one up. All right, so take our joystick, move across to the simple pitch block we placed earlier. Again, if we're on the home screen, go up and push the menu button, controller assign, move parameter right across to mix, and then set your control to foot switch number 10, which is going to place it here. Again, the type of switch we want is momentary. And this one, I've set the minimum value to 0 and the max value to 34%, okay? And then Once you've done that, we've just got that really simple. So now we've got our octaves and our momentary pitch shifters set up with our pedals. Next thing we want to set up is our kill switch. So this is on this switch down the end here. So cool, let's jump in, set this one up right now. Okay, so we're gonna move our joystick across to the volume pedal that we've put down there previous. We'll make sure we're set right from the home screen there. And then again, really simple, first step we want to come up to is hit the menu whilst that block's selected. Next thing we want to do, hit Control or Assign. Okay, with the parameter, we want to keep that on position, and the controller, we want to set this up to foot switch 11, which is right down here. Again, we want the type of switch to be momentary, and then with the settings, there's a little bit of work here. We want the minimum value to be at 100, so when it's not inactive, we get our full signal flow right through the patch here. And then with the max value when the pedal is on, we want to have it about 25% there, so we get that nice cutout where you get that noticeable drop in volume and creates that nice, really cool glitchy stutter effect. All right, so let's jump on out. Once you've got that set, that's all you got to do. So you can have that with the pitch shifter either off there, works well with unison then. So for the next part of this tutorial, we're going to jump in and look at the finer settings for those people who just want a bit more info on how to tweak their amp or distortion settings to create these sounds. Okay, so let's start off with the amp here. So if we come in, get back to our home screen, I've got the drive set to 5.8, the bass at 6.5, the mids at 4.4, treble at 6, the presence at 4.5, and then the channel volume at 10. So if we just pop on out, we just want a really nice, clean amp sound, okay, which the Soldano gives us. So when we go to place our distortion settings over the top, so with the distortion setting here, giving us a bit of overdrive, let's jump in and show you how to set that up. All right, cool. So with the Ds1 vintage we've got here, I've just got the drive set to 6.6, the tone at 3.6, and the level at 3.7. So for our next sound, we're going to jump in and set up our fuzz. So if we pop in, we've got the fuzz assigned to that one there. I've just got the sustain at 9, the tone at 5, and the level quite low at 2.1 because the channel volume was so high on the amp. So and then if you throw the overdrive in with that there, there's a heap of tone getting smashed in the front of that amp. All right, cool. Let's jump on, last but not least, with the reverb settings. I've got very, very subtle ones. Just got the mix at 20% because we've got so much signal and so much going on processing-wise with the pitch shifting. And if you choose to have the drive and the fuzz together, you don't want it to get too boomy. So I've just got the decay at 4 seconds, pre-delay 50 milliseconds, room size at 20 meters, diffusion 70%, but most importantly, the mix is at 20%. And then with the actual bucket brigade settings, I've got it set quite tight. 238 milliseconds, feedback at 43, noise at 2.8, the mix is reasonable at 31%, and then the headroom is at 0 here, and the level is at 0 dB there. So if you have any questions about today's video, leave those in the comments below and I'll get back to you there. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you've enjoyed the content. I'm going to be putting together a free pack of Helix patches as a part of the download and also as part of the mailing list, which contains a bunch of info and other cool things around learning the guitar, improving your playing that I find really interesting that I want to share with you people out there. Also, if you want to support the content directly that I'm putting out here, as long as the giveaways with the mailing list and the free patches and bundles, you can follow the Patreon links below and sign up for a $1 per month support membership there. And also, if you're looking to set your playing apart, sign up for the Hypomp Music Guitar Fundamentals program and master the fundamental skill sets of contemporary guitar in context. So this course, it follows the unique methods that I use with my one-on-one students to achieve great results consistently. You can even check it out on a free trial. So it's obligation-free trial. There's no credit cards or any funny business like that. You can just straight away jump in and start getting all the benefits from the course. My name is Ryan Wyatt. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to catch up with you all in the next video.